So they're filled with foam. They basically perform like a fully pneumatic, but they can never go flat. And there's some cheaper engines out there, some knockoffs, some imports. This is a true GX Honda engine. It's got low oil shutdown.
Hey, what's happening? Barnaby here. So you want to know more about the Rolair 4090HK17. I spew those numbers because that's probably how you found this video, right? Well, this is what we call a manufacturer show-off. This is Mike, you're the VP of Rolair. Thanks so much for making the trek across the big lake.
Thanks for having me.
Because you guys are located in?
Wisconsin.
All right. Well, what I want to get from you right now is the manufacturer's overview of this. I want you to tell me everything you know about this machine that you think the customer wants to know before they drop the dime on a compressor, this one or otherwise. So what are you proud of here?
Well, we probably should start with the pump. It's an Italian-made Chinook pump. Probably what differentiates us the most. I mean, other people can find a Honda engine if they want to. They can get the tanks. But this pump, we're the sole distributor in North America. It's an Italian-made Chinook pump. As you see the size, most of that's because of this oversized crankcase. So it's splash lubricated, but there's 34 ounces of oil in it, which is comparable to about 12 on an average pump.
Really?
12 ounces of oil, yeah, so almost 3 times as much. And what that allows, so in hot weather, it's going to hold its viscosity much longer, so you won't have to go as quickly between oil changes. And then, as you know, job sites are never level. You're supposed to run any splash lubricated machine on a level surface.
Sure.
But this allows for a little bit of play because you've got extra oil in there.
Okay, and then as far as the power plant here, what I'm noticing, it seems to be a bit of a trend, is that these are shrouded now, right? And so what is the point of having it just hanging out for all to see?
First and foremost, just for transparency. You know, we want to be honest. We want people to see what they're buying. The engine is a really key component to this compressor. And there's some cheaper engines out there, some knockoffs, some imports. This is a true GX Honda engine. It's got low oil shutdown. Very important to have a good quality engine to last as long as this pump is going to last, because the pump's going to last a long time.
Yeah, how long will that pump last? How many hours?
You can get over 10,000 hours out of this one pump with very little maintenance.
Okay, usually it's the man that draws the short straw on the job site that gets to start it up in the beginning, right?
That's right.
Okay, so have you done anything to kind of relieve that process?
Yeah, you'll see right here what we've got is an aftercooler. So it's just a finned aftercooler. Typically, you'll see if you don't want to put the money into an aftercooler like this, you'll just come out with maybe copper tubing or some braided discharge. But we put the money into this aftercooler to try and cool down the air. And it also allows us to put this wing nut in the back here, which you can't see. But when you open that up, now when it starts up in the morning, it's not starting against any pressure. So any back pressure in the tank is not felt. It's just producing air, letting it out into the atmosphere. Once it gets warmed up, you close up that wing nut, and then it goes down into the tanks. Okay,
you know, one of the things that kills a compressor like this quicker than not is vibration, right? Because it's got to be able to accept that. It's just a necessary evil, right? So how have you addressed that?
Well, that's a good point. And it's actually one of the things that you'll find on a compressor like this is they start to just rattle apart. If you don't build them strong, they'll rattle apart. And that's because you've got a pump with a vertical cylinder, an engine with a slant cylinder, and you've got to absorb that down here on the saddle. So we've got an extra thick saddle for one. We also have 5 points of weld on the tank here, and typically it's only 4. So we give you that extra reinforcement, which allows it to absorb that vibration.
Okay, and then, you know, again, hearkening back to other reviews that I've done, one of the big complaints is the shroud over the belt, made of plastic, but this is metal. Why?
Well, we wanted to go with something that was going to last. And certainly guys that buy Rolair that are investing in good tools, they don't want them to break down. If you've got a plastic shroud, you throw some wood or a tool or anything in the back of your truck, it can crack it. And if that belt guard comes off and OSHA shows up on your job site, you've got a problem. So we want something that's going to stay there, it's not going to rattle, and it's going to last a long time.
Okay, what about the adjustment of the belt?
Well, it's important to do. So any belt's going to get loose over time. We wanted to make it as easy as possible. So we were the first ones to design, we call it our Schmidt belt tightening device, named after Dennis Schmidt, who came up with it at our company. What it allows, you see that bolt on the end.
This guy?
Yep. After you loosen up the engine here, you can turn that bolt clockwise, and it pulls the engine towards you.
Oh, Schmidt was a smarty pants, huh?
Good old Dennis, a smart guy. So he came up with that, allows you to check the tension as you pull, and once you got it in the right spot, then you just tighten back down these 4 bolts.
Okay, you know, when you get a machine this size, part of the tension on the daily job site is back tension, lifting it up. So how much is this weigh?
It's 175 pounds, but it's perfectly balanced. In fact, if we were to put it on the ground, if I'm holding it upright in kind of a wheelbarrow position, I can take one hand off of the handles and it's not going to fall over.
Okay, and so because it's a barrow style, you got the one wheel in front. Tell me about this.
Well, traditionally, the fully pneumatic tires were what everybody wanted. Those were the best. They were filled with air.
Yeah.
They could absorb when you drop it off. If you didn't have two people and you just pulled it off the truck bed,
Boing,
it could
boing.
bounce, right?
Yeah.
So that's what everybody wanted. Well, what we went to in the past couple of years now is all these foam-filled flat-free tires.
Yeah.
So they're filled with foam. They basically perform like a fully pneumatic,
Yeah.
but they can never go flat, which is what
Well,
everybody
on
wants.
a job site, it's just a bunch of spikes waiting to pierce, right?
Exactly. A lot of nails laying around.
Yeah, okay. So let's, from a manufacturer point of view, give the recommendation on draining of tank. How often?
It should be done daily. We use ball valves now. That's another feature we've added in recent years to make it as easy as possible to drain your tanks. But do it at the end of the day. There's going to be, anytime you compress air, it heats up. It's going to cool down inside the tanks. That's where you get your condensation, your moisture, steel tanks. You want to drain it daily.
Excellent. Okay, so where do you find one of these?
Probably the best place to find a distributor near you if you're watching this video is to go on our website, Rolair.com, where we've got a dealer locator. We don't sell the box houses by design.
Right.
We've decided to marry our brand as top of the line with people that sell the top of the line tools. So we sell through staffed channels where you go for the best tools, where the contractors go to shop.
Hear the wheels turning already on the part of people watching this video. Top of the line, what's that going to cost me?
It's going to be just north of $900. And we've got them. This is our most popular gas compressor. It's probably the most versatile. So they're stocked throughout the country, coast to coast, and you can also find them online.
Okay, well, thanks for the good information.
Thank you.
And you know, we also talked to Mike previously in a separate video that we call One-on-One, because a lot of people have the question, what is it about Rolair? I have never really heard of that brand. I need to know more about it. So we shot a video with him talking about the history, the design philosophy, things that you'll want to know so you can feel comfortable about trying to figure out ultimately which compressor might be right for you.